Okay, welcome back. Welcome back for me, I should say. You guys are already here. Okay, so I just heard you guys saw at least some of the videos from last time. Okay, good. Right, are there any questions on anything that we covered in the previous?
That would be the purpose of like fasting then, right? When people fast from food or from water or go through the from a spiritual standpoint, it's then to like be able to release your attachments.
Nope.
No.
Fasting at the physical level won't have any effect on your attachments at the subtler level of the personality, which is the mind. In and of itself, fasting has zero effect. But activities such as fasting and a whole range of other things, what they can do, they can act as supports or reminders, or if you want to put it this way, we'll start to get into this today, they can act as rituals or idols to represent to us something else which is working at the subtler level. So I'll give you an example. So if a person fasts, one of the reasons that a person might do it is because they think there's some impurities, I want to just, flush. So that will flush, or that will help to sort of, detox the impurities at the physical level. That won't help to detox the impurities at the subtle level of the mind, of desires, attachments. The gross cannot control the subtle in that regard. Right? If that were the case, then prison reform would be easy. All we need to do is change their diet, make them fast, and things will, obviously it wouldn't work. But what it can do, as we are detoxing at the physical level, we can use our experience of the hunger, and then the hunger goes away, and then it comes back again, the process of fasting if you've done it. You can use that entire experience to be a constant reminder of an internal or an emotional detox. So when we are detoxing at the emotional level, what that means is we are trying to get rid of our attachments, our egocentric desires and attachments. So something like fasting can be a good ritual, a good reminder for what we're doing at the subtle level, but it's not a replacement for it. Ramadan's a good example of this. One of the reasons that, or one of the benefits to Ramadan, I was talking to a Muslim friend of mine, and she was saying that they go through the daylight hours with no food. As soon as the sun goes down, there is all of a sudden an appreciation for the fact that you have food on your plate. And it's a very communal, community-oriented activity. And so it's not that the giving up of the food had that effect of gratitude and community, but it acted as a support. So the physical things that we do can act as supports for the emotional work that we're doing, but they won't necessarily, they won't in and of themselves have an effect at the subtler level.
Do you think all these things are from society pressure, or like this new world, or do you think it's actually inside us that we have these desires?
It's a mixture. So we each come into any particular environment with our own temperament. Right? We're not a blank slate. So we already have existing desires in the personality. What happens then is that we enter into environments, whether you call it a social structure or a family or a school or a country, whatever it is, whatever you call your environment. And that environment will, as you say, send us certain types of messages, give us certain signals. Those messages and signals then interact with what's going on in here, whatever my particular raw material is, and there's a reaction. And that reaction can result in the building of more desire of the same thing, or it can, in a sense, get us to chase something that we didn't have a desire for previously. So this is why it's important to understand how attachments and desires form in the personality. Because we may enter into an environment without a particular desire for something. Okay, you've entered into the environment of yoga teacher training. You may have no particular desire for public adoration. But once you start taking classes on a regular basis, people come up to you and they thank you, and you get lots of feedback on your Facebook and social media pages and so on and so forth. All of a sudden, the public adoration that you had no desire for, you think, gee, this is nice. What's happening? You're creating a new desire. And so as you go through your career, you're starting to build the desire for public adoration, which you never had to start with. So it's a mixture of the two. We come with our own desires, and then if we don't manage our interaction with the environment properly, we can then run into the problem of creating new desires.
I have a question. This kind of is about last week.
Yep.
You said humans have the capacity to choose, which is obviously true. Do you think that has any effect in desire, or what effects, I guess, it could have on desire and the pursuit of happiness?
Yeah, so when we effectively employ our capacity to choose, what that means is that we will choose between two desires, say. We will choose this desire over that desire. So it's a conscious choice. As our capacity to choose diminishes because of the flood of desires in the personality, then we are not choosing the desire, rather the desire is choosing us, if you want to put it that way. So our capacity for choice is an essential element in our growth, because it means choosing a higher desire over a lower one.